Hey, good
What's up? How are you?
morning. I feel like we just were doing this 2 seconds ago. We were just having a Zoom, Anthony and I, making sure that we're going to have an awesome show today, going over the content and everything. So I hope you guys are ready to get started. Let's do it, Anthony. Go ahead.
What's going on, guys? Anthony Angelillo, branch manager with the TAG team located in Miami Shores, Florida, Sunshine State. Now that Clubhouse is bringing us on a national level. Those of you that are following us on Clubhouse, got to mention that we do live here in the Sunshine State, and today is crappy out, a little bit overcast. But that being said, CEO, founder of TAG Team Nation. It's not snowing.
I don't need a jacket and boots, so I'm cool with that.
CEO, founder of Tag Team Nation, and top originator of Miami Agents Magazine, a top originator and Scotsman Guide as well, co-host of Damage Control. That we have an amazing thing coming up. I'm not going to reveal the prize yet, but we definitely will announce it soon. That being said, I'll leave it to Melinda. Introduce yourself.
Hi, guys. Melinda Grimaldi, real estate and title attorney. I'm so excited for this episode of Damage Control. Anthony, what number are we at?
36.
36. We're going to be having our one-year anniversary soon. So a little bit of housekeeping. If you're not already following us on Instagram, please do so, because we're going to be having some promotions, some giveaways, some things happening in the coming months. So make sure you go on there and follow us. We're going to be using that to build out some things for you guys as well. So please go on there. There's a poll. If you're live here today and watching this live, there's a poll for those attending live. So please take a moment and answer that poll so that we can better guide some of the discussions for you all. And that's it. So let's get started. Tying together the plan. All month, if you've been joining us throughout the month, we've been talking about different pieces of the plan, different pieces of what should be going in your business plan. But today we're going to be tying it all together, kind of bringing it all in. And it's our last DC of the month. It's the last week of January. We need to get our shit tight, guys. Get it in gear, right?
Start closing stuff, man. Big month.
Let's do it. We're actually starting off the year on a great foot. I know you are too, Anthony. I hope you guys are as well. If you didn't stop working in December, you should be having a kick-ass January. So that's all about it, right? Making sure you stay consistent.
Did you hit your goals? Did you hit your goals for this month?
No, because our new goal is higher. We surpassed our monthly goal for last year, but it takes time to ramp up to the new number, right? So we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's talk about the importance of having a plan, guys. When you jump in the car, what do? You go and put your stuff in your GPS. You're like, this is where I need to go. This is how I'm going to get there. I'm going to make a right here, get on the highway, turn, put my blinker on, right? You know how you're going to get there? Well, the same thing for your business. You got to have a plan.
Plan of execution, man. Plan of execution. So the plan that we have was just revamped, 33 pages long, but we have a plan and our new goals and our new numbers. Obviously, we'll go into goals in just a minute, but to get there, you need to have that foundation, that plan, that mindset, the drive, the drive and ambition and willpower to win. And without a plan, you're not going to be much successful. Got to make sure you put your seatbelt on because it's going to be a bumpy ride.
One thing I want to mention, yes, you're supposed to have a plan and you want to make sure, but I think it's super important. It's not really in our agenda, Anthony, but I want to talk about it because this kind of happened this morning. You need those accountability partners. You need people that are going to keep you on track. I had a very rough night. My kid was sick. I was in a shitty mood this morning. I go, let's jump on a Zoom. We started talking about stuff. All of a sudden, I feel like I'm re-energized, right? After our chat this morning. So thank you, Anthony. We always keep each other in check and make sure that we're doing what we need to be doing. So find yourself those people in business that are there for you in that way, that push you harder, because there's going to be days where you're not going to feel like showing up the way you know you can, and find those people that will push you to do that. Okay. So
without a doubt,
with that being said, one of the best things that came out of DC was building this, like, a cool relationship I have with Anthony, that we have to show. We're kicking ass. We refer to each other and we push each other every day. We talk business and talk shop. So find those people in your business, because you are the 5 people around you. You're like a product of the 5 people you hang out the most with. We don't hang out as much. It's usually Zoom and telephone and text, but definitely he's one of the top people. He's on my top text message people that you have pinged to the top now. It's a really cool function if you don't have that on my phone, because I'm always like, okay, I have to text Anthony something, right? So find those people in your sphere. You know, if you don't have them, like, figure out how you're going to find somebody. And before I move on, I heard something the other day. Someone's like, how do I find that tribe? How do I find that group of people? And someone said, Stephanie Peters is going to be on our show later this quarter.
That's going to be awesome.
She said, you know, sometimes you got to pay to play. Like, how do I find those people that are just, like, driven and motivated? And sometimes you may not find it in your immediate circle, and you got to find the people, you got to pay to play. So join a mastermind, find a coach, do something, join an organization that's you know, sometimes you got to pay to find those people, and then you click and you have that, right? So we love to be that oomph in the agents that we work with. So if you work with us, I know there's some of you on here, we love to pep you guys up throughout the years. Tiffany, Dana, for sure. We're some of your biggest cheerleaders. So, I
like
guys,
that, man. You got to pay to play. I like that. It's good. It's true. You really do have to step up your game. And when I first started, like, really taking this seriously, I'm like, shit, nobody around here is taking their shit seriously. I need to find those people. And that's when I joined the coaching program, and we started to meet, and I used to find these other attorneys that had this entrepreneurial kind of thing. And that's how you start to really adjust your thought, right? Yeah.
All right, let's get crack-a-lacking. What goes in a plan? If you've been to our business planning workshops before, you'll know there's different parts. All the parts need some love to be able to bring it through. So there's sales, marketing, obviously setting your goals, sales, marketing, systems, teams, and you, right? So we're going to talk about all that. We talked about them in pieces and, like, built them out a little bit, but we're going to talk them in context, and we're going to use our own plans as examples so that you guys can see exactly what that means in real life, right? So the first step, we spoke about goals, importance of setting goals. Anthony has his goal. What's your goal this year, Anthony?
I don't have it in my room, actually. It's in my office. I've got a mug. I've got a hat that is in my closet back there. Nice. I like that. I still have to put mine up. I have to finish it.
Yeah,
that's from Woman's Council.
I have to, like, get it laminated and good. Yeah, so I'm showing
vision
what I'm
board.
showing. If you're watching, that's my little vision board. It says 50 deals a month. That's my number, because we hit our goal and we're consistent on our monthly number. So Anthony's at 100. That looks a little differently in lending than it is for title. For us, it's 50. That's where we're at. We didn't hit that this month. We're not going to hit it this month. That's the goal. We want the goal is to get to that level consistently, right? So we're going to close 35 this month. We're upping up every little bit, right? We're getting close to that number.
You're inching away. You're inching away.
And hopefully by the end of the year, we will have hit that. I hope that I'll surpass that. I'm thinking by the summer, I'll get to that number. That's my goal. And then we want to hit that consistently. And then you feel good. And then you put a new number up, right?
And your goal shouldn't just be about yourself either. Like, for example, the goal that we have, okay, and I know Melinda's great at this because she drives in really good service as well. That's why we use her. The 100 units is not just because we want to get 100 units a month. We're trying to put in 100% to get 100 units, 100 or nothing. So that's our saying, just like let's tag team this deal. But the point is that we want our agents that we work with to monetize their business too, because then you know you're presenting value. Then you know you're worth value, because that goal should be, all right, how do we get to Dana and Rosalina and every single person in this room? How do we monetize their business too? That's collaborating, collectively thinking, and really taking your goals to another level. So I don't want you guys to think, hey, it's about, the goals, we got to make money and blah, blah. It's more than that. It becomes the energy that you exude. Like, for example, Melinda just said it this morning, a little bit run down because of the baby. And obviously anyone would be, and bringing and exuding that energy to bring her back to life, to get her through that day. That's another goal. You guys got to remember that what you're projecting is going to stick, to the client and the borrower in that case. And obviously, that's going to allow you to hit your goals if you're not projecting that energy.
And we're going to talk about financial goals just because we're all in real estate, so it's easy to relate. Everyone's going to have different types of goals, fitness goals, family goals. Yeah. I know some girls that are like, I need to get married by the end of the year. I need to start having some babies, right? So everyone has different goals. Everyone has different things they want to accomplish. But the one thing we could all relate to, I think, if you're on the show and you subscribe to DC, is that we all want to grow our business. So that's how we're going to relate to the goals and discussions today, just because that's something we all have in common. So once you set the goal and you know that number, if you guys want to share your goals, I would say throw it out in the universe, put it in the chat, share it with us. We'll hold you accountable if you put that in there. And the reality is, if you keep your goals to yourself, sometimes it never really happens because you're not putting it out there. I find if I want to start doing something, I just tell everybody, this is what I'm doing now. I'm doing this. Why? Because I better do what I say I'm going to do, because that's the most important thing. Like, one of my things is I do what I say I'm going to do. Right. So throw it out there if you'd like. I know a lot of people are more private. If you want to just put it to Anthony and I and the panelists, we're happy to cheer you on. Now, once you set your goal, you have to say, how am I going to get there with my sales and marketing strategy, right? So we're going to tell you a little bit about what's in our marketing plan. We do a lot of things together. We do some things separately, right? So, and let's talk about what we do together. We have put our show to a weekly platform, right? So DC is going to be every week. Bless this show. It has helped us grow in our businesses in addition to giving back to the community. So we're doing that every week. We're consistently, you'll always hear from us every Thursday at 11. And that is something that we're doing, right? We're both members, a strong top level affiliate to Miami Board Miami Board of Realtors and Women's Council. We're strategic partners. We invest a lot in the real estate community. We like to give back. We like to support. We become major investors with our pack. Like, we're all in with you guys. We see the value in it, and we want to help you guys in any way we can. So we're going to be teaching for the board this year, doing events for Women's Council. And of course, the most recent addition is Clubhouse. If you're not on Clubhouse, you got to be where it's at, people. You got to be where it's at. I have a couple invites, so if you need one, hit me up later on Instagram and in the DM, and I will make sure that I share whatever I have left. First come, first serve. All right? And you need to have an iPhone to do that. So that's Clubhouse. We've been able to start providing value, not only to the people we know locally, but nationally. So it's been super cool. And I've learned a lot, and I've reconnected a lot. So if you're not there, be there, be square, guys. That's where it's at.
Yeah, you guys got to go. You got to step up the game. I know it's another app. Those of you are probably thinking, Jesus, another app. And that's what we thought of too, but it's a very powerful app, and it's allowing you to really have an omnipresence on scaling your business and taking it nationwide if that's the case, or, expanding your farming areas. Hence, that's one of the poll questions. Where do you farm? I specifically asked that question because are you the type of person that's going to step out of your comfort zone? Do you know the market? But Clubhouse, man, really, really good app. So I would highly recommend everyone signing up and following us and following everyone else too. Good speakers on there.
So you see how we just listed, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, right? We're listing out things in our plans, whether together or separately, of the things we plan on doing. Anthony, what else are you doing this year that you plan on continuing, or you plan on adding, or whatever? Share so they can start getting some ideas and some what to put down on paper.
Without a doubt. So for me, we did very well last year, and our goal now is going to be double that, and it's a big goal. But we needed to revamp systems. All right. So for one of my things that I put on the paper is and I put on my business plan as well, is creating a new work order and a new workflow and revamping our systems and our marketing and the way we deliver to listing agents, buyer's agents, transaction coordinators, and the delivery part of it. So revamping it so we are allowed to monetize. And what I mean by that is it's like a chess game, okay? When you're doing a business plan and you're putting things on paper, we just had a conversation with corporate, my operations manager and myself, and we were talking about payroll and team leaders and accountability and who's going to make a little bit off that person and this person, and what's the incentive of them helping each other out. Obviously, we're a team, but people need to get compensated too. So knowing and seeing that, if you're trying to build out a real estate team, how are you going to scale that out? How are you going to monetize that? And how are you going to allow others to, have vested interest in your brand and your name and obviously your team? So labeling all that stuff and writing it out, very, very important, and something I would highly recommend.
Love it. So guys, in your list, you're going to say, like in your marketing and sales strategy, this is what I'm going to keep doing because you reflected and it's good. This is what I want to start doing. Anything new that you're going to be adding. And this is what I need to do more of, right? And this is what I'm going to stop. So I want you to think about continue, stop, more, continue, stop, more. There's one more. Continue, stop, more, add.
I don't know.
New,
add.
new, right? Those 4 things. Yeah, this is a critical thing. What do you like, guys? If nothing else today, if there's nothing else in your business plan, this is what I want you to do is those 4 things. What am I going to start doing? What am I going to stop doing? What am I going to do more of? And what am I going to continue doing at the same pace? Super, super important little project. Why are you laughing at me?
I'm just looking at chats, and people are funny, man. People are characters.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So one thing that I realized last year, I was so busy in the day-to-day that and the way we started our year was thinking we're going to have in-person events, and then we didn't, and then we moved to webinars, and it took us a while to adjust. So this year we already have the 24 webinars for the year planned out with dates and topics. We might move some things around. We have 2 spots open for anything that comes to my creative ideas, but we have the year planned out already. And this way, my team has already built out the February events. We know what's coming. We had 2 this month, and the machine is rolling. So I'm doing more of what I did last year. This way, and it's already planned out, so we're able to promote them more, because for me, education to the community has always brought me, to grow my business, whether in-person events, teaching with the boards, or my own webinars. So the webinars is something I have extra. We had one yesterday about contracts. Because I promoted it early and
how many people?
We had 75 people RSVP.
Wow.
We had 35 that were on, which is a really good ratio for a free webinar.
Yeah.
And we've turned it to an on-demand feature. So if you didn't get a chance to watch it, hit me up in the DM. I'll get you the on-demand link so you can register for that and watch on your own time. So but having the plan ahead, right, and knowing what we wanted to do has allowed us to basically scale. Thank you, Janie, saying yesterday was great. It really was a good class, not your average contract class. All right. So we're listing out those 4 things, right? Do, stop, continue, do more of. And then from there, you're going to be able to say, okay, with those different spheres, this is what I project to get from this source. You also want to include your social media strategy in here. I don't necessarily consider a source. Most people don't have it as a source in that way unless you really have a lot of followers. So don't rely on Instagram if you have 1,000 followers. It ain't going to work like that, right? You got to grow that. Yeah. So have your plan of how am I going to consistently grow my following on this platform, on that platform. Anthony does this super well. It's kind of hard to gauge from an event what's going to come out of it. Anthony's able to say, okay, there's going to be this many people are going to actually send us a deal, these are going to close. And he's like, we're going to get 5 deals from every event. I'm like, how do you even do that? He does it in his head. It's a little different for you guys, right? But you need to start having predictions from what you're planning to do, because that's how you know I need more marketing strategies or more things to do, right? So if for us, I have 24 webinars in a year. From every webinar, I get 3 new agents, from 3 new agents, the average agent sends me 5 deals a year. That is that's how I know, okay, I need this many more agents to get this many more deals to get, you understand what I'm saying? So do your math, guys. Everyone's a little different, but I just gave that to you as an example so that you can do it. Now, without getting too caught up in the specifics of marketing and sales, once you have your sales strategy, once you know what your growth is going to be, how are you going to service those clients, right? We have, I know that if I'm going to double the amount of closings we have, we definitely, okay, need to make sure that we have enough staff to handle that. So Anthony and I have been restructuring our team, our operations team, to be able to handle that. Now, I have also added another marketing assistant because I know that to double, I need to increase my marketing. So to increase my marketing, I need more hands on deck to do all the things that my creative brain is telling me I want to do. So we have one more person, and it shows already because we were able to get so many more RSVPs based on the few tweaks that we did and the more action that we took to promote the event. Anthony, too, what did you do? What are your plans for your team this year?
All right, so let me elaborate on a couple of things that you just said too. If I'm a new agent, okay, when is the time that I'm going to allow myself to have delegation? I think a lot of people think that we're hiring staff so that we have more free time. It's to get to a certain level. Your free time obviously will be there, but what Melinda is basically explaining is that she needed a virtual assistant to help her, get more people to her shows, which are like 75 people. That's a damn good turnout. Now, when you do the numbers on something, how much are you making out of that? How are you monetizing it? And that's what she's talking to us about is, for me, I look at things from an accounting standpoint, and I look at it as a numbers standpoint, and how much money can I possibly make, or where do I need to allocate funds in order for my business to succeed? We needed a junior processor because we were bottlenecking in the front end. All right. And that's going to happen. You're going to constantly start changing as you build your team. And it starts with you to have that foundation. But we were bottlenecking in the front. Operations was getting a little bit bottleneck in the back. What did we do? We hired a junior processor to disclose and render all services up front so that the assembly line is now being completed. We project by using data and by using numbers. So when I tell you guys chess and looking things and having 5 steps ahead of your business plan, Melinda's saying videos are great. Okay, she's kicking butt on those seminars. Let's just say, what if there's 100 or 250 people that actually hit that room? What if DC becomes 500 people? What are we going to do then? We're going to need more virtual assistants. We're going to need more marketing power. We need to forecast and project. And that is something that we do very well. And we hope that you guys take into consideration is the projections of where you're going to be next month, the follow-up month, 5 months from now. Very, very important. You don't want to over project and spend all of your capital because you're going to have a higher burn rate. You're going to have to, really make sure that you understand what you're spending your money on. Melinda is great at this. When we do presentations last year, I remember we did one for the board, and she said, don't just spend money to spend money. Know where you're making your ROI. And then that's part of your plan too, is saying, okay, Zillow leads were great this year, or Realtor.com, or my referral partners from XYZ, or wherever you guys are generating business, do those numbers and make sure they're benefiting you financially. And sometimes, as Dana says, good money's not all money's not good money. So maybe you want to cut ties with a couple people you're doing business with, or XYZ.
So,
right?
So that ties us right into it. So like reflecting on what your needs are, what your needs will be. The reality is your time needs to be spent on money producing activities as an agent.
Yeah.
You should have your TC or have a closing agent that does a lot of that stuff for you, right? Like us, or you should be having an assistant to help you manage and schedule things for you, prep you for your appointments and your showings and your listings, right? So the point is that you need to list out the first set of things that you need to outsource. I would say in a hierarchy, the first thing you need is a transaction coordinator. The second thing you need is an assistant, whether virtual or otherwise. And then you need to start building out your team from there. Now, don't forget, your team also includes your vendors, right? Like title and lending. And you need to make sure that your vendors are on point. You need to make sure that they're making you more productive, not holding you back, helping you get things accomplished when you need it if you're in a crunch, making sure that they answer your calls and your emails, because you're going to be wasting time doing the follow-up with those that don't answer the phone. And that's the first thing you should be assessing really in your business plan is like, who are my vendors now? Are they giving me the service that I need? And if not, call Anthony and Melinda.
Honest to God, that is a big thing that I just want to chime in on is we don't have any issues when we use you, Melinda Grimaldi. And I'm not trying to stroke you because I know we're live here. I'm serious. I don't have to worry about, it was a shitty closing, or, oh my God, we were sitting there and we didn't get the keys for 5 hours. And I've seen it. I've been doing this 18 years. I've seen every damn scenario. Oh, they didn't get funded because it's 4 o'clock and the cutoff is 4 and my bank couldn't wire the monies. That's a reflection on you. So the delivery, just what we went into on Clubhouse, that delivery and the expectations, make sure your vendors are servicing your needs. And if they're not adapting, and that's a problem. They need to adapt to, number one, change, our industry, technology. And if they're not adapting, they're not growing. And if they're not growing, that reflection is going to be on you. And it's important to validate. The constructive criticism, you need to take it as an agent and vice versa, as a lender, title company, an entrepreneur. You need to understand that is important, very important.
And sometimes it's not really about constructive criticism. It's about, look, this is what I need to, like, can you help me do things this way? Can you please send me the closing statement early? Can you please make sure that you schedule like this for me? Can you please make sure you serve the champagne and not gift it because I want to have that experience and they like that? Whatever you guys, but there's different things, right? And everything's different. So you need to communicate and you need to make sure that your vendors can help you do that. And then of course, also building out your TC and your virtual admin to be able to make you have money producing activity time during those 9 to 5 hours, right? As much as you can.
We just did this. One of our biggest clients in Tampa, he does extremely well. He's like, we got to use my insurance guy. I'm like, all right, that's fine. He's like, make sure we send it out. I'm like, all right, we're going to automate that for you. He's like, how? I'm like, I'm going to have it automated so that girls know that that's it. It's set in stone. No human error. He's like, I love it. Great. So you've got to appease them and not appease them. Understand that this is a mutual relationship together. Like, it's 50-50. So without him and vice versa, we're not going to be able to close. So it's respecting your vendors and who you're doing business with as well.
Okay. So to regroup, you're going to have your goal. You're going to have your goal. You're going to set down the things you're going to keep doing, stop doing, continue doing more, and whatever. I always forget the one, but whatever. You know what I'm talking about. But that's set up, right? Anthony, you got to keep me on point with this. What's going on? And then from there, where you're going to build out your team, you're going to regroup your list of vendors. You're going to make sure that you interview some TCs if you don't have it, that your TC knows exactly what you need, and that you come up with a plan of when am I going to need to hire that virtual administrator, VA or assistant, because guys, I'm telling you, that's how you need to start outsourcing. How are you going to get to post and do all those things? You need the marketing assistant. Go on Upwork and hire someone a couple of hours a week to do the stuff for you. Okay, because posting is really not the money making activity. All right. So that takes us to systems, right?
Yeah. Systems.
So you have to come up with projects that you think will move the needle for you, and plan out what you're going to build out throughout the year. Right. So Anthony right now is working on a big project. He's revamping a lot of stuff. That's part of his sales and part of his systems plan for the year, right? Is finishing this beast of a thing that he's doing. Every day he's working on it, right? And that's his goal. He has that set up. For myself, I revamped just this week who's doing what, right? And I've recorded a few more videos because I need to release a few more things off my plate so that I can keep growing the business, right? So I created a few training tools and stuff like that and put the responsibility on my team. And the funny part is that the more I put on my team, the better they step up. So we created a few other little things in the team meetings and in a few of the tasks that now I've shifted to them, and they bring to me only the problems they can't solve, and it's actually turned into a beautiful thing. So I'm really excited about that. But to do that, I need to have the systems, the infrastructure, and the training for them to make sure they know exactly what that looks like. So I recorded some videos yesterday of what that looks like. We're adjusting a few things internally and in our closing software and our workflows. So that's what we're doing. But right, as you grow, as you add people to help you, as you add new things, you're going to need to create. So I know that, by the summer, I'm going to need another closer. So with that in mind, I have to be ready to set time apart to build out those workflows and change them again in that month, in that season, because as you grow, you're going to need to think, okay, my systems are going to change, right? So you need to be able to set time aside and know, okay, in the month of May, I got to get ready because in the month of June, I want to hire a new closer. If I'm going to hire a new closer in June, I got to start looking in the spring because it takes forever to hire, right?
And so let me ask you this question. Let's play devil's advocate, because I guarantee you they're thinking this. When is it time to hire the TA and to transaction coordinator, TC? And when is it a good time? I know that answer inside and out, but when do they know as agents to project and to physically hire? Like, when's a good time?
I'll say a TC gets paid at closing. So for that, that's a no-brainer. Especially
forward
if you're
moving
a rookie.
fee is what she's saying.
Yeah,
correct.
So that I think is a no-brainer. I've seen some agents successfully have buyers agents, kind of newer agents, be their assistants, and they get paid a piece of the pie with a small weekly fee. I think that's a great strategy because you're training somebody new, you're giving back and you're helping them if you're like a more experienced agent, and then the payday comes with you get a piece of my commission, whatever that looks like, depending on how much they do. So it all depends on, where you are, because that depends for everybody, right? And look, at the end of the day, you hire somebody, it doesn't work, you fire them.
Yeah, exactly.
You
I was
hire
just going to say that.
You hire someone too early, you don't have the money for it, you fire them. Or you let them go and tell them, listen, I'm sorry, this is not going to work out. Don't be afraid. But the thing is, it takes months to find people. Don't wait till you're like up to here and you can't do anything else with your time and you're like not sleeping and you're not seeing your family, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I need help. But that's too late. You're going to take months to find it, and then you're going to hire out of desperation. And that is the worst thing to do. So the lesson of today is to plan for your hiring so that you're not hiring out of desperation, because desperate hires are the worst.
It's the worst, man. I've been in that position too many times, not anymore, but back in the heyday, way too many times. And it never ends pretty. So the projections are important. The systems are very important. Our goals and the way we selected our workflow, and I'm in hibernation this entire week, building out new systems because we're scaling, but we've also seen growth in specific agents. And so we're reading that data saying, all right, how the heck is XYZ agent scaling faster than ABC? And we found out what's working best. So that's why I said to myself, right, I'm going to revamp my systems to push more accountability to the buyer's agent that's working with us on XYZ prospects, and then link them and send them a link of a Google worksheet, automate it. I'm saying, hey, Dana, you've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G working. We've got this comment, that comment. We need this update, that update. Where are we with here? Where are we with there? So now I've pushed accountability on Dana, understanding that, okay, now it's her job and her duty to be successful, provide for her family, to then give us that reciprocation back, to give us an update. So that's working well with our agents. So we're automating that and we're revamping that. So those are the things that you need to think about that's going to allow you to scale, make yourself separate from your other parties, because there's a lot of competition out there.
And when you're thinking about systems, it's not just your production system, like the servicing of the client, although it's super important. It's also the marketing systems, guys. So for example, yeah, like, so there's the operations, there's a sales system,
Yeah.
there's every department of your business. Right now, you're likely wearing all the hats, but every department has its own systems, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, just with damage control, we have started to continue to build out the system. So we have the first 6 months of content already planned out in topics. We have the next month and a half scheduled with our topics and guests. We have the next 4 weeks of promo material already done. So we don't want to be strumming at the last minute. It doesn't make for a good show. And also, we don't have the time to be interrupted all the time. So we have we sit down, our marketing team presents us some information, and we review it, we approve it, we edit it, whatever, and then they work on the next step, right? So
and they're not creating it. Don't think that you guys are going to have someone creating that. They're definitely a good eye and a second eye, but it's your brain that's coming up with what you want to present. Very important that you guys understand that. Like, can't have someone else do it for you and just the heck with it. That's half-assing things. You need to actually grind out and make sure that content's good, because if it's not, no one's going to want to follow on something like that.
Exactly. So making sure you take the time and batch your marketing so that you can give instructions. For example, I have all of February waiting for my final approval right now. Now that we hired somebody, we're going to start with March right away and plan it ahead of time. Now, we can't be always planning too much ahead, right, in our content, because some things happen live in the moment. We post closing pictures, we post event things, right? So those things they're not ready yet, but we do know we have to promo our webinars. We do know we need a few types of, we do a couple of quotes, we do a couple of this, we do a couple of that. So I find some things I like, I send it to them, they make it look pretty, I look at it, review it, fix the content, fix the text, send it back, we go back a few times, and then we're ready for the month to go. So we're not in the moment, oh, I need to post, I need to do something, right? So that's your marketing systems.
And another thing, just to touch up on that, is how many times, Melinda, have you and we've spoken about we got to create content ahead of game, and it was 2 months, and then we finally did it. So make sure we use Trello, and if you guys are not using Trello, we would highly recommend it. But Trello, it's in your face, and so you'll get to your project, but make sure that it's on your to-do list. Like a grocery list. I need eggs. I need this. I need that. The concept is it's visually there for you to complete. When is that completion date? Obviously have a due date, but don't beat yourself up by not hitting your due dates. The due date on revamping all of this was a year ago for me. A year ago. I shit you not, a year ago. And Melinda jokes with me, when is this going to get fixed? When are we doing this? Blah, blah, blah. It's being revamped. It's going to be launching February 1st. And so, don't beat yourself up by thinking you. Yeah, it's finally done.
Are you ready?
Finally done. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. But yeah, so yeah, it's been a while, but at the end of the day, it's a massive elephant. Take on, portions of it, and then you'll see yourself progressively getting better and better and bigger. And that's the way to scale, the right way, organically. And that's very important, extremely important.
And there's going to be a ton of stuff you're going to want to work on if you're really trying to grow your business with regards to systems and stuff. And you're going to get ideas. You're going to be listening to people. You're going to be on our show like, oh, I got to do that. I got to do that. You got to create a parking lot of ideas somewhere. And then what you do, because it's going to get very overwhelming. You're going to be like, I have to do all these things. Create a parking lot somewhere, whether it's on your phone, a note thing, or somewhere, or a notebook of your ideas. And then what you do is when you're planning out your year, you say, okay, January, I'm going to work on this project. For example, my listing intake form, right? And making sure I have all that. And don't create these massive projects. Create them in like little mini things. So building out your systems and your intakes is one example. If you didn't watch those, we have some seller intakes from
the brainstorm thing. We have that on the checklist. So if they don't have that, obviously that was last episode, go back and that content will be there. But that's exactly what she's talked about. Parking lot is brainstorming everything, all of your ideas. But that's mainly for that week and month, I would assume, right?
Yeah, so depending on what you estimate the time frame to be. So if you know, okay, I got to do one workflow, I got to work out my 3 workflows, tenant, buyer, and seller. For example, if you do all 3, do the one you do the most often first, and then you work with the other ones. Sometimes as you're doing it, you can write it out. It helps to do it live in the moment as you're actually doing it. And then you start building out one thing at a time. And by the end, you'll see you're going to start to have a library of stuff, right? To help build you out. Because if you don't have those things, those checklists, those forms, those template emails, guys, you're going to be doing the same thing over and over again. Why are you recreating the content or the text or what do I have to do next? You know, it's already been done for you. All you get, and especially when things get busy, having those workflows keep you on track. Like, you don't have to say, I'll never forget, like when I first started, my files used to have like we had a master checklist and then a little post-it on the top. Like, what a stupid system that was, because we used to lose a checklist, and then, you know, that person doesn't have the file on their desk. How do they know what it is?
Holy
but that
shit,
was how it was, like those big half-page post-its, you know. Listen, it worked in that moment when I had 5 files, right? It doesn't work with the 35 files that we're closing a month, plus the files we're trying to close, plus the new files we're opening, right? The stuff that we're helping negotiate. There's like so many things. We can't work like that anymore. It's like it's funny. And now that half our team is virtual, so you really can't work off post-its, right? So it took my team like 6 months to understand, guys, in our system we have post-its, like they're like notes, right? So whatever you wouldn't want to write on a post-it, never on a post-it. Post-its are banned from my office. It's not allowed. Yeah. It just goes straight into the notes. And that's
unacceptable, man. It's funny because the videos that we were pre-recording, everyone was in our office. Why we have to do this? I'm like, we're going to need to upload them soon. We're going to create a library. You've been saying that for a year. I know, but just keep doing it. And sure as you know what, we're launching. We have our own library now of videos that are training material videos.
University.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. TTT. I got the Domino's tracker. TTT. The
tag team training manual. Or tag team tracker. Yeah. Awesome. Good stuff.
So guys, make sure you guys project that. It's very very, very important.
So systems are super important, even if it's just yourself. But then eventually, if you want to outsource, you could only do that if you have things written out and list it out how you want it, right? So that's the systems portion of it, whether it's for sales, marketing, production. Okay. And then now, last but not least, the centerpiece of it all is you. What are you going to work on for you this year? What are you going to do? Are you going to get designations? Are you going to do any more trainings? Are you going to work on your sales? Are you going to read certain books? Are you going to try to get better at certain tasks or certain marketing things that maybe you don't feel comfortable with? What are you working on this year that's going to
What are you working on
there?
You got a lot going on.
Listen, I'm reading books I read self-development books and business books all the time, or listen to them. And so things are starting to get repetitive for me. So now I'm like, okay, I'm at a point where my business is moving and doesn't require me to be a OCD on the mini cositas, right? So it feels beautiful. But now I'm at a point where, okay, I need to fill that time with continuing to grow this business, but I want to diversify. I haven't decided yet. Yes, I want to invest in my own portfolio, but that's something that's coming. But I also want to diversify my business in a different way, and I haven't really figured it out. So I joined the mastermind. I'm learning about creating online courses and different things. I don't know if that's for me yet, but I'm right. That's what I'm working on for myself to see what's my next thing, right? Because they say really to build your empire, you need like 10 streams of income, right? So I have a few things that I'm working on the side that I know what they're going to be. It just takes time to build and grow. But then there's also like I got to create something, and I got to see how that fits into all of what I'm already doing, right? So that's the me thing. It doesn't necessarily fit on the business side of it in the terms of the firm, but it's something that I gotta start unwrapping, and I'm still working on that. What about you, Anthony?
Systems, marketing, more content, university, in the works.
That's
but
not
I don't
you.
want to call it
Systems and marketing is not you. You want to learn more about marketing? I'm going to check you now for everybody.
No, I definitely need to learn more about marketing, because the book that I just downloaded, EMyth, for real estate agents, I want to absorb that book. I want to know what this person's reading about or talking about in this book. And I want to take that and see if I can deliver it in another way. Marketing is everything for me. So I definitely need more marketing. I want to go harder on marketing. For me, it's a goal. I was doing videos last year every single day. And I made a promise to myself that I would do a video a day. I stopped doing that because a lot of things hit me up, but there's no excuse. So for me, I want to do more videos, more marketing. That's for me, for self-reflection.
Reflection.
We're almost wrapping up here.
I call bullshit on that because that's still wrapped up in what you're doing. But anyways,
I told you I wanted to go hard in marketing, like hard in marketing. I feel like I need to do 3 posts a day.
But that's your marketing department. That's in the marketing department, not the youth department.
There's no excuse, but I haven't been delivering that yet. So we'll see. Okay. Anthony, what's the title of the book? EMyth. EMyth for realtors.
EMyth realtor. Yeah. So there's the EMyth is the entrepreneurial myth. And it basically the main book is based on creating systems and different things like that for your business. So it goes along really well with what we teach here. I read that book. There's the EMyth attorney, and we just found out this week. Anthony told me there's the EMyth realtor.
EMyth realtors. Right? I want to see it. I want to see if there's anything that I'm not doing, or if there's anything that I can do and automate it and help the agents out. It's value. I want to present value, right? DC is value.
What would be cool is if we do like book club for this book and have agents
audio book club.
Buy the book, listen to it, whatever, and then we show up and talk about it one chapter at a time.
Could do that.
We could do it on Clubhouse.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I'm just shooting shit. Anyways, you guys, that is our presentation of tying it all together. If you are subscribed to this show, you will get the template business plan in a Word document, and it'll allow you and prompt you to go through and add things a little bit at a time if you haven't already started that. Anthony, put the name of the book in the chat.
Is there any questions, or because I know that some people raise their hand? Esther, you raised your hand. If you want to, are you looking to speak? Anyone have any questions? And I know there's going to be all the post recordings will be on our YouTube channel. You'll get all of the updates. So you guys are going to have all the content pushed out to you tomorrow. That's that.
Awesome. Excellent, guys. I just put the link to the book in Amazon there for you. I'm going to buy it myself right now. I'm going to listen to it, but if we're going to do a book club, Anthony, it's good to have the hardcover. So to be able to go through it, mark it up, highlight. So we'll talk about that more, Anthony, offline, and we'll let you guys know next week what we plan on doing for this. I think it'll be really good if we go through this book together. And maybe we could do a show about it instead. We'll see. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll keep
one thing at a time.
In the loop. Yes. All right, guys.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
Don't just sit here and listen. Implement what you've learned. Even just one thing, okay? One thing today. All right, guys? So have an amazing day. Let's kill it today. Bye.
Take care.